Not audible, sir.
Wait. Now is it audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So today I will take the ED class with chalk and talk method. Let me see how it is going. Okay. So first, yesterday I have given the class work for you guys. Okay. I have given total 8 questions. I will solve 3 of them. Remaining 5 you have to solve. Okay. So I will solve the second one here. You better try to solve with me, all of you. Function is simplify f of xyz is equal to x plus y into x bar into y bar plus z bar whole bar it is plus x bar into y plus z. Okay, this is the one Boolean function we are going to solve. So clearly I have mentioned in the note that you have to apply suitable Boolean algebraic rules, laws, theorems and properties. So whichever is applying, you have to apply that here among the 4 and you have to solve the Boolean expression. Actually, our motto is to simplify this Boolean expression here. So this is the Boolean expression we have given and our motto is to simplify this Boolean expression. Parts in the equation. Okay. So this is the one part and there is a plus symbol and this is the another part. So what we are going to do here? Anybody? If you see the whole expression, how it is looking? It is a SOP form or POS form? If I consider these two terms here as one and there is one more term. So whether it is a SOP or POS term? Anybody?
Yes, copy, sir.
Okay, this is SOP because we have 2 product terms here, right? We have 2 product terms and again here 1 product term. Since there are 2 product terms, we are taking it as a SOP function. That is sum of product function. You have to solve individual terms here and simplify that. You can see that here how to solve this. First one. You can see here. So there is a one term. You can see that here x bar into y bar plus z bar whole bar it is. Okay. Is it looking like a into b whole bar? If you consider x bar as a and this y bar plus z bar as b, then how it is looking? This one. Is it looking like a into b whole bar? Is it clear? This term I am considering it as a into b whole bar. I am taking x bar as a and this one y bar plus z bar as b. Okay. So if it is like this, which is the theorem you are going to apply for this one?
De Morgan's.
De Morgan's law.
De Morgan's theorem. So first theorem or second theorem it is?
Second theorem, sir.
So what it will be? A into b whole bar is equal to
A bar plus B.
A bar plus B bar.
a bar plus b bar.
B bar.
Right? Now apply the same for this one. So what I have taken here? A as x bar and b as y bar plus z bar. So if you put that here, so a will be x bar whole bar because I have considered A as x bar here. Okay, x bar plus what will be the B here? It will be y bar plus z bar. Again, whole bar it is. Is it clear? Is it clear first?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You can see that I have considered A as x bar. That's why I have written instead of A here x bar, and this bar is as it is above. Similarly, this B as y bar plus z bar I have written here inside, and again we have bar for that B. So that's why I have taken whole bar here. Fine. Now, what will be the x double complement?
X.
Yes, it is. Fine. Now, again, which theorem you have to apply here? How can you solve this? Y bar plus z bar whole bar it is. So what you do here? Once again you consider y bar as A and z bar as B, and if you take the bar, it will be A plus B whole bar. Again, you can apply De Morgan's theorem for this one, right? Instead of A, I have taken y bar here. Instead of B, we have to take z bar here. So, what will be the De Morgan's theorem for this one? A plus B whole bar is equal to
A bar into B bar.
A bar into B bar it is, right? It will be A bar into B bar. Now, apply the same theorem for this one. Instead of A, you have to write y bar. Instead of B, you have to write z bar. So, write that it will be, what is the A here? A here you have to remember y bar it is. Okay? Y bar whole bar into z bar, again bar for that. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Now, after solving this one, we are getting like this. It will be x double complement plus y double complement into z double complement. So, to further solve this, complement of itself is the same variable, that is x. Here I will get y and into z. Fine. So, what you have solved? You have solved only this portion now. Fine. So, replace this with this, and again you have to solve this equation. Fine. So, what is the solution for this one we have got here? It is x plus y into z. Okay. Now, what do we do? So, write the same here. X plus y. Instead of this one, what we have got? X plus y into z plus solve it. This will be x bar into y plus x bar into z. So is it clear how I have written this step? I have solved this one by applying De Morgan's theorem. Both 1 and 2 De Morgan's theorem I have applied, and after that we have got the solution for this one. For this term we have got this. Okay. Now further simplify this one with the multiplication method. You have to multiply this variable with all the variables here. There are two terms. Again you have to multiply this with the two terms. So what will get here? First one will be x into x plus second one will be x into y into z. Again you have to multiply this y with x. So I will write, instead of y into x, I will write x into y, because commutative law for multiplication. Instead of y into x, I will write x into y. Okay. After that, multiply y with y into z. So it will be, how it will be? Y into z, right? And what will be y into y?
Y.
If you multiply this y with this term, that will be y into z. So what will be y into y? It will be y only. So instead of y into z, I will write only y into z. Fine. Similarly, it is as it is x bar into y plus x bar into z. Is it clear till now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine.
Yes, sir.
Now further simplify. That is, apply the Boolean rules, laws, and theorem is applicable. So the next step I will write about here. Okay, the x into x. What
X.
it will be?
X.
Again, x into y into z. Write as it is x into y into z. Again, x into y. Write as it is x into y. Again, y into z plus x bar into y plus x bar into z. Okay, the expression is visible to all. Just put the comment there. Whether the expression is visible clearly. Fine.
No, sir.
Okay. Now, in the expression, you can see here the first term is x. So take x common here. Fine. So take x common. So what will be here? It will be 1 plus. This will be yz. Fine. Again, if you take x common, it will be y. Fine. And this one will be y into z plus x bar into y plus x bar into z. So after further simplifying, we will get this. Fine. Now you can see this term. So what will be the answer for this one? Anybody?
1.
Because it is 1 plus anything value. 1 plus anything is equal to 1. Therefore, it will be x into 1 plus y into z plus x bar into y plus x bar into z. Fine. Now, can you further simplify this one?
So take y or x bar common.
So you can see here, you can take x bar common here, fine. So it will be x plus y into z plus, if you take x bar common, it will be y plus z. Just a minute. So after further simplifying, we will get x plus yz plus x bar into y plus z. So this is what we got. Fine. Can you further simplify this one? Anybody? Can you further simplify? Fine. So this will be the final minimizer Boolean expression. Okay. So that will be the final minimizer Boolean expression. So what I have told, to simplify the following equation, that is Boolean equation. So this will be the minimizer Boolean equation. Okay, this will be the minimizer Boolean equation. Now we got the technique how to solve the Boolean expression, that is how to simplify the Boolean expression. Fine. Any doubts in that? Anybody? If you have doubt, then put a comment there. Fine. So I have given such 3 questions. You solve the remaining 2. Fine. You solve the remaining 2. Okay. After that, I will solve another 2 from 4, 5, 6, 8. Okay. Okay. I'll solve the 4th one now. So what is there? Write the canonical min term expression in sigma notation or summation notation for the following truth table. Okay. So before going to the truth table, first you should remember how to write the truth table for 2 variable, 3 variable and 4 variable. So if I am considering as A and B, so if I am considering the 2 variables, so that is A and B. So how many combinations, input combinations we will get here? So as I have explained in the previous class, so for n variable, we will be having 2 raised to n, what we call input combinations. For n variable, we will get 2 raised to n input combinations. Since we have 2 variables here, that is A and B, so it will be 2 to the power 2, which is 4 input combinations we will get. Fine. Now for this 4 input combinations, how to write the truth table? You can see that. So if I consider A and B as the input variable, if I consider A and B as the input variable, so what I have done, there are total 4 input combinations. Fine, there are 4 input combinations. So we want to start with 0, next will be 1, will be 2 and 3. So these form the 4 input combinations for 2 variables. This is for 2 variables. So this is for 2 variables. So for 2 variables, we have 4 input combinations because we will be having 2 raised to n input combination for n input variables, and these are the variable input combinations will get 0, 1, 2, 3. So these are the decimal equivalent numbers. So these are the decimal equivalent numbers. So I will write that here the decimal equivalent number, it will be 0, 1, 2, 3. Fine. These are the decimal equivalent numbers. Now, what is the decimal equivalent number for 0? Considering 2 variables A and B, it will be 0, 0. So these are the binary numbers I am writing here. So these variables here we get only zeros and 1 combinations here. Fine. So for decimal equivalent of 0, it will be 0, 0. For decimal equivalent of 1, it will be 0, 1. For decimal equivalent of 2, it will be 1, 0. And similarly for decimal equivalent of 3, it will be 1, 1. So this is how we have to write the truth table for 2 variables. So is it clear? Just put a comment there if you have any doubt. Fine. Now, so this is we are writing it for 2 variables. Now how to write the truth table for 3 variables and 4 variables? Just you have to remember this combination. So it will be 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1. Once you remember this, you can write any truth table. Truth table for any variable, that is 3 variable, 4 variable also. Even 5 variable you can write. Okay. Now, so this is the truth table, you can write it for the 2 variable. Now we will try to write it for the 3 variables. Now just put a comment there, how many input combinations we will get for the 3 variables. How many input combinations? Yes, it will be 8 for 3 variables. I will consider the variables as A, B and C. Okay, and what are the decimal equivalent numbers we have to get? Starting from what are the decimal equivalent numbers for those 8 combinations? Since we have 3 variables, it will be 2 to the power 3. Total 8 input combinations we will get in the truth table. Fine. Now, what are the decimal equivalent numbers we will get? It will be from 0 to 7. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are the total 8 input combinations we will get for the 3 variables. Fine. Now, already we have written the truth table for 2 variables, right? We have already written the truth table for 2 variables. So that is we have written it for 0 to 3. Fine. We have written it for 0 to 3. What I will do? Okay. So for 0 to 3, it will be 0, 0, 0 1 1 0 1 1. Is it clear? For two variables I am telling. For two variables we have already written the truth table for 0 to 3. Right? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now just replicate the same here also. Just replicate the same here also. Again it will be 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. Fine. You are writing a truth table for two variables and just you have to replicate that here. Now in the first part I am considering the A as the MSB here. We call this as the most significant bit. We are considering MSB as the most significant bit. That is A as the MSB and C as the least significant bit, LSB. C variable we are considering it as a least significant bit, that is LSB, and we are considering A as the most significant bit, that is MSB. So that MSB here it varies for 4 combinations. After 4 combinations it will vary. So initially it will be 0 for the first 4 combinations. After that it will be 1. Is it clear? You can see that this is the least significant bit. You can see that here. Just see this column, C column. Here, each bit is varying. You can see that this least significant bit is varying for every single bit, and here the significant bit, the middle one is varying for every 2 bits, and this one is varying for every 4 bits. So what will be the weightage here? So it will be changing for 1 bit, it will be changing for 2 bit, it will be changing for 4 bits. C will be changing for a single bit. For each single bit, the C value changes here. For each 2 bits, the B value changes. Similarly, for each 4 bits, the A value changes. So is that clear? If you have any doubt here for writing a truth table for 3 variables. If you have doubt, then ask me now only. Okay. Now we have written a truth table for 3 variables. How to write a truth table for 4 variables now? Now we have written a truth table for 3 variables. We have to write it for the 4 variables now. How to write that? You see here. Now tell me, for 4 variables, if I consider A, B, C and D as the input variables, so how many input combinations we will get in the truth table? It will be 16, correct? So it will be 16. So for 2 to the power 4, we will get 16 input combinations. Fine. Now consider A, B, C and D as the variables. Fine. Now, and what are the decimal equivalents vary from? Decimal equivalent numbers. It will vary from 0 to 15. Good. It will vary from 0 to 15. All of you write it down. You have to write it down by yourself now for 4 variables. Again, what I will do? We have already written it for 2 variables, right? Considering C and D, we have written it for A and B, we have written it for 2 variables. Just replicate that here. 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. Again, same we have to write here. 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. Again, just repeat the same 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. Again, repeat the same 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. Fine. Now, so this bit varying for single bit. The second bit is varying for 2 bits. This bit is varying for 4 bit, and this will be varying for 8 bit now. That is, here the MSB is A. That is the most significant bit we call. So that is A here, and the least significant bit here is D. Least bit, that is LSB is varying for each bit. The second bit is varying for every 2 bits. The third bit is varying for every 4 bits, and the fourth bit is varying for, that is the fourth variable is varying for every 8 bits. Now, since it is varying for 4 bits, initially it will be 0, right? As we have mentioned earlier in the 3 variables. After that, it will be remaining 4 bits. Since it is varying,
1 1.
it will be 1. The next 4 bits are 1. Again, it has to vary. For every 4 bits, the value is changing here. Again, it will be 0 for next 4 bits. Again, the value changes for the next 4 bits. It will be 1 here. Fine. Now, similarly, you can see that here the MSB bit, that is A, is varying for every 8 bits. The MSB is varying for every 8 bit. The first 8 bits will be zeros, and the remaining 8 bits will be
1.
1. The remaining 8 bits will be 1. Now, is it clear for you how to write the truth table for 2 variable, 3 variable, and 4 variable? Any doubts in that? Fine. Now check the classwork question, that is fourth one. Okay, the fourth one. So they have given the truth table already. So they have taken the variables as x, y, z. They are taking the variable as x, y, z. So for 0 0 0, 0 0 1, 0 1 0, 0 1 1, 1 0 0, 1 0 1, 1 1 0, 1 1 1. So this is the truth table they have given, and they have given the function value. Okay, they have given the function value here. They have written the decimal equivalent numbers here. You just note it down. 0 to 7 they have mentioned. Okay, 0 to 7 they have mentioned there. The decimal equivalent numbers. You can see that the function value they have written in terms of zeros and ones. So that means for which combinations this function is true. For which combinations, for which input combinations this function is true, only that they have made it as a logical high. Again, this is considering the positive logic they have written. Positive logic. They have considered the positive logic, and they have mentioned the function value. So, for which combinations it is 1, the function value, can you see that? Just tell me the decimal equivalent numbers. For which decimal equivalent numbers or for which input combinations the function value is 1. It is 1 for 2, 3, 5. Can you see that? That is the row number for 2, 3, 5. Okay? Or instead of this row number, you call these as the min terms also, right? These are the min terms. Instead of 0 to 7, you can write it as M0 to M7 also, right? M0 to M7 also. Instead of 0 to 7, you can write it as a M0 to M7. That is the min terms. Because considering SOP or positive logic and sum of product form, we are writing it for the min terms. These are the min terms. M0 to M7. Now, just tell me which min terms are present in the function value. That is, in the F function value, which all the min terms are available. So that is in terms of min terms. I am asking. In terms of min terms, I am asking which all the min terms are available in the function value. So meaning of that will be which function value is 1. So that min term is available there. For 0 function value, the min terms are not available. For function value 1, those min terms are available. So it will be M2, M3 and M5. So here I will write only those here. M2, M3 and M5. So only these 3 min terms are available. Fine. So you can write 1 for them. 1, 1, 1. Remaining all are 0. So this is the question they have given. Okay. This is the question they have given, and what they have told. You have to write the canonical min term expression for this one. You have to write the canonical min term expression. Actually, this truth table is a question they have given for you. Okay, you see that here. So is it clear how the M2, M3 and M5 are we are taking? Because for the function value M2, M3 and M5 only, it is 1 available here. So that is why we are taking the M2, M3 and M5 there. Now what you have to do, you have to write the canonical min term expression. Okay. So whatever the function values are available, for only those you have to write only those you have to consider and write the canonical min term expression. So just you write the min terms available for the following function are M2, M3 and M5, right? The min terms available from the following function are M2, M3 and M5. Is it clear? Is it clear till now? Now you have to write that in a canonical form. So you have got the min terms now. Now you have to write that in a canonical form. Okay, somebody is asking me here. Explain it once again. So this is the question they have given. We have not done anything here. So already this is the table you have got. So for this table we have to write the canonical function. Right? For this table you have to put the canonical function. So here the function value f represents for this function wherever it is 1. You can see that in the truth table I have provided. So wherever that is 1, only those min terms are available, considering sum of product form. Is it clear, Chetan? Is it clear now? Chetan, whether you have any doubt now?
No, sir.
Fine. So for only wherever the function value is 1, only for the meaning of this one will be wherever the function value is 1, only those min terms are available. So that is what I am separating the min terms here. So what are the min terms available for this function? That is m2, m3 and m5. Fine. You have to write this in the canonical min term function now. Okay. How to write that? It will be function of x, y, z is equal to function of x, y, z is equal to. So which notation we need here? We need some notation, right? Sigma. So before going to that, you just see here from these min terms, can I write the Boolean expression? From these min terms, can I write the Boolean expression? M2, M3 and M5 I have got. Fine. Can anybody tell me what is the Boolean expression I will get? F of x, y, z is equal to? Okay, somebody has written here, Apurva Nirvani. So it will be, wait. So it will be x bar y z bar plus x bar y z plus x y bar z. Okay. So somebody has written using ABC. So Amit, you have to just remember here, we have considered the variables x, y, z, not ABC. So whatever the input variables are there, you have to write the expression for considering those variables only. Is it clear, all of you? Even Arun Kumar also. So your answer is correct, but you have taken the different variables. So whatever the variables we have mentioned there, you have to take only those variables while writing the expression. Fine. Now the expression for this one will be f of x, y, z is equal to, for 0, 1, 0 it will be x bar, y, z bar. For 0, 1, 1 it will be x bar, y, z, and for 1, 0, 1 it will be x, y bar, z. So from name one min terms right here, m2, m3 and m5. So these are the min terms. Okay. You can write it as x bar or you can write it as a x dash also. So whichever is convenient. If the question they have given in terms of x dash, you have to write in terms of x dash. Okay. If they have given in terms of x bar, y bar, you have to write in terms of x bar, y bar itself. Okay. So this is the Boolean expression you have got from the truth table. The question they have given is they have given this truth table. From this truth table, we have written the Boolean expression. First, we have identified the min terms here, and after that, we have written the Boolean expression. Now, you have to write this in the canonical form. You have to write this in the canonical min term function. So, how to write that? So, it will be function of x, y, z is equal to, for min term or canonical function, we have to use the sigma notation. We have to use the sigma notation, and we have to write small m for the min term. And after that, whatever the min terms available, you have to write the number for that. Whatever the min term numbers are available, you have to take the specific number. So min term numbers are 2, 3 and 5. Just you have to write this 2, 3, 5. So this is the canonical form for this one. Is it clear? Or somewhere write it as summation instead of small m, they will directly write this. So these are the canonical midterm forms. So is it clear? Fine. Now, so that is the answer for the fourth one. So that is the answer for fourth one now. Okay. Now you solve it for the fifth one and sixth one. To solve it for fifth and sixth. In sixth you have two there, that is A and B part. You solve it for both. Okay. Now I will solve the seventh one now. Okay. I will solve the seventh one. Or just write the seventh question here. Again, they have given the truth table for that. So what they have done? Write the canonical max term expression in phi notation for the following truth table. Okay. Again, they have taken the input variables as small a, b, c. They have taken the small input variables as small a, b, c. Okay. Write the truth table. First write the input combination for three variables. After that, for which input combination the function value is there, where to they have considered it as a high value or true value. So just you have to remember here in the question they have mentioned the canonical max term. Just a minute. Okay. So the function values are 0, 1, 0, 0. I write the function values 0, 1, 0, 0 and 1, 0, 1, 0. 1, 0, 1, 0. So these are the function values we have got. Now 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Fine. Now, what they have mentioned here is you have to write the canonical max term function. Okay, you have to write the canonical max term function. So, in the if we are telling the canonical max term, then which one we have to consider? Whether we have to consider the SOP function or POS function? So previously it was.
POS function, sir.
Now, since it is a canonical max term, they have given canonical max term or the file notation they have given, we have to take the POS, that is product of sum form. So we have to take the product of sum form expression here. So if we are taking the product of sum form expression, so here while considering the POS, fine. So in previous example, wherever the function value is 1, okay, wherever the function value is 1, we have considered them as the minterms. Is that clear? In the previous example, wherever the function value is 1 there, this function value is 1 here. So we have considered those as the minterms, respective minterms, right? Here it is reverse of that. So instead of 1 here, wherever the function value is 0, so I have to take them as the max terms. Wherever the function value is 0, we have to take it as a max terms. So what are the max terms available here? Just name those max terms for the following truth table. So it will be 0, 2,
2, 3,
5 and
5, 7.
so you write it here. So wherever the max terms are available in terms of capital M0, M2, M3 and M5 and M7. So only these max terms are available here. Fine. Now what you have to do? You have to write the respective sum term. The respective sum term here for M0. So what it will be, considering A, B and C. What is the respective sum term for considering M0 max term? Anybody?
A plus B plus C.
So in previous case, if you check, if it is x, y and x bar, y bar, and if it is 1, that is function value 1 for x, y, z, so that is 0, 0, 0. So for 0, 0, 0 combination, that is in previous case x, y, z. So if that function value is 1, we are taking the product term as x bar, y bar, z bar. Fine. Here we have to take the sum terms because it is a POS. Since we have mentioned it as a max term, you have to consider it as a POS term. So in POS, you have to take the sum term here. So for 0, 0, 0, so just check the POS table which I have taken earlier. So it will be small a plus b plus c. Similarly, for this max term, that is M2, what we will get? It will be, anybody? A plus, anybody here?
A plus B bar plus C.
A plus B bar plus C. Similarly for third one, M3.
A plus B bar plus C bar.
A plus B bar plus C bar. Similarly for M5, it will be A bar plus B plus C bar. For M7, it will be A bar plus B bar plus C bar. Fine. So these are the max terms we have got. That is the sum terms. Now using these sum terms, can you write the Boolean expression? Now write the Boolean expression considering these 5 sum terms. So it will be, finally write here f of a, b, c is equal to write the first term, that is a plus b plus c. After that, write the second term, that is dot here. Since it is a product of some form, you have to take the product of each term here, each max term. So again it will be a plus b plus c into a plus b bar plus c into a plus b bar plus c bar into a bar plus b plus c bar into a bar plus b bar plus c bar. So that will be your Boolean expression. So that is the final Boolean expression which you will get for the truth table, which they have mentioned here. So after that, you have to write down the canonical form for the same. So canonical form will be function of a, b, c is equal to, the notation will be file notation, and whatever the max terms are available here. So which max terms we have considered, you have to write the numbers belonging to that. So that would be 0, 2, 3, 5 and 7, or you can write it as phi of capital M. You have to write it phi of capital M 0, 2, 3, 5 and 7. Is it clear, all of you? Is it clear till now? Any doubts in that? If you have any doubts, then put the comment there. Okay, out of those classwork, 8 questions, we have solved 3. Now you have to solve the remaining 5. Along with these 3, you solve the remaining 5. Okay, I will check that tomorrow. Fine. How to write function value? So actually here, somebody has asked me how to write the function value. So here we have not considered any logic bit here earlier. So this is the question they have mentioned directly. So what you are asking is how we have written these function values, right? So that is the question actually. They have written the question, they have given the truth table directly, and we have considered that truth table as it is here. So we will take some certain examples and how to write that function value using how for the particular input combinations. We will see that. So but here they have given the function value directly, just we have considered that function values. Okay, don't worry about that function value here. So in next examples we will see how we will get the function values for particular input combination for particular logic. Is that clear? Okay, any doubts? Write Boolean expression. Just you have to see here. These are the product terms I have written, right? So for M0, what you do here is the Boolean expression will be function of a comma b comma c. Here, if you consider, it will be M0 into M2 into M3 into M5 into M7. Okay, just write the whatever the product term, the sum term is there, some term is there. For that I am not here, just write that and write down the total Boolean expression. Is that clear? So it will be M0, for M0 it will be a plus b plus c. Just write instead of M0 that a plus b plus c here. So for M7 it will be a bar plus b bar plus c bar. So like that. Is that clear? There you will get the total 5 max terms here. Fine. Now, so these are the prerequisites of the subject. Okay. So till now what we have studied. So that all are the prerequisites of the analog and digital electronics. That is particularly digital electronics. Now we'll start with the module 2. Okay. I will take for maximum 5 minutes now. I will tell the overview of that. That is module 2. So in module 2, we'll start with the module 2 directly because the digital part starts here. So in module 2, first one, we are going to see the K-maps. In module 2, we are going to see the K-maps, that is the Karnaugh maps. So for your syllabus, we have 2 variable K-map, 3 variable and maximum 4 variable K-maps we have. Fine. After that, we have the Quine-Mikulski method. Quine-Mikulski method of solving the Boolean expression. So, whatever the methods I am telling, so those are the methods to solve the Boolean expression or to simplify the Boolean expression. One is K-map method, one is Quine-Mikulski method, and there is one more Patrick method available. Patrick's method, and after that we'll see what are the essential prime implicants, that is essential and non-essential prime implicants. We'll see essential and non-essential prime implicants we will see after that, and after that we will see some functions which includes don't cares, some functions which include don't cares, or they will call it as a the don't care may be either X or star notation. They will give the don't care as X notation or star notation. So it will be like that. Or the don't case only, they call it as the incompletely specified functions. So that is, they call these don't case as the incompletely specified functions. So we'll see all these in the module 2 only. So the basic requirement for the module 2 will be whatever the expressions till now we have solved that using the 4 methods, that is basic rules, laws, theorems and properties of the Boolean algebra. Okay, and the further simplification is not possible. So after that we are going for the K-map technique. So in the first example you can see that we have solved one XYZ variable Boolean expression and we have solved up to particular step, but further simplification is not possible using the 4 methods, that is rules, laws, theorems and properties. So in that case we are going for the next method for simplifying the Boolean expression, that will be the K-map technique. Again, if the K-map method is not sufficient for us, then we are going for the Quine-Mikulski method, and in the Quine-Mikulski method only we are seeing whether we are getting the essential prime implicants, what are the non-essential prime implicants are there, and there are some functions which use don't care or incompletely specified functions, and we'll see all these points in the module 2. Fine. Okay. Before going to the next method, that is K-map method, I will give one max term function here. You have to write down the truth table for that, and you have to write down the Boolean expression for that. Okay. Just see here. I have given function of a, b, c. Okay. Function of small a, b, c is equal to 5 of 0, 3, 5. 0, 3 and 5. So I have mentioned the number of variables already, that is 3 variables are there. And so these are the, which term these are? Whether they are min terms or max terms?
Max terms.
Max terms, because the notation is 5 here. Since the notation is 5, you have to consider the max terms. And whenever there is a max terms, which expression you have to consider? SOP or POS?
POS.
POS expression.
POS.
Okay. Now what you have to do here? Just write down the max terms available for this. So that will be M0, M3, M5. So these are the max terms available. Now you have to. Now what you have to do? You have to write down the truth table for this one. You have to write down the truth table for this one, considering A, B, C as the input variable. A, B, C as the input variable. Okay. One more thing you have to remember here. Someone has asked how to write the function value in the previous. So in the previous question, the function value is directly, that is the truth table is already given there. Okay. In the previous question, the truth table is already given, but here in this question, the truth table is not given. You can see that just they have given the max term function here. Fine. From that max term function, we have to derive the truth table first. Is it clear? Since the A, B, C has the input variables, what is the output? Function f value. I am taking f as the output here. This one as the output variable. Now write the how many input combinations we will get here for these 3 variables?
8.
8. Just write it down, all the 8 input combinations, all of you. Fine. These are the input combinations we will get for the function of ABC. That is for 3 variables. Now they have mentioned already here. They have given this one 5 of 0, 3 and 5. And since it is a max term, we have to consider the POS. All are interrelated here. Since we are considering POS, you can see that here. So wherever these max terms are available, that is M0, M3 and M5, we are taking only those as zeros or ones.
Zeros.
Zeros, because since it is a POS expression, we have to consider the zeros here. So for particular max term values, we have to take the zeros, and remaining all the input combinations, it will be 1. So it will be, see here. So M0 is there, M3 is there,
0.
and M5 is there. I have not written M3 here. 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1. So M0 is there, M3 is there, and M5 is there. Fine. Now you have to make only these function values zeros, because we are considering the POS. So write straight away the zeros here for these M0, M3 and M5, and remaining you have to write down the ones. Fine. So this is how we have written the truth table for the following canonical form. Is that clear? Any doubts in that? If you have doubt, then ask me. Just put a comment there. Fine. So just you have to see whether it is a POS or SOP. Once it is confirmed that it is a POS expression, you have to consider the max terms, and whenever the max terms are available, we have to consider for those particular max terms, we have to consider the 0 value here, and the remaining values are 1. Fine. Now we have got the truth table. Now for this truth table, considering these max terms, for this truth table, considering these max terms, can you write the Boolean expression? Can you write the Boolean expression?
Yes, sir.
So somebody has written that it is a plus b plus c into a plus b bar plus c bar plus, it will be a bar plus b plus c bar. So the Boolean expression for this function will be, just write it down. Somebody has written it correct. It will be a plus b plus c into a plus b bar plus c bar into a bar plus b plus c bar. So this is the Boolean expression. Fine. So here what I have done, we have given the canonical function. From the canonical function we have written the truth table first. From that truth table we have written the Boolean expression. Similarly, can you write it for the same one? Instead of 5, I will take it as a summation here. So instead of 5, if I take summation symbol, so what are those terms called now? 0, 3 and 5. Anybody?
Many terms. Mean
Not
terms.
many.
Mean terms.
Okay.
Mean terms.
Correct. It is min terms. If instead of 5, we are considering the sigma value, then those are the min terms. So instead of capital M0, M3, M5, we have to write here the small M0, M3 and M5. Okay. Once we get the min terms, again we have to write down the Boolean expression. That is the function value. Once again we have to write down the truth table there. Now since those are the min terms, we have to consider SOP or POS?
SOP.
SOP. So since if you are considering SOP, so wherever these min terms are available, we have to write down 0 and 1 there.
Once.
1. So we have to make 1 here. Again for M3 it is 1 and for M5 it is 1, and remaining all are 0. You can see that the truth table changes for, just you change the notation, the truth table changes here, the function value. Is that clear? Now, can you write the Boolean expression for this function value? That is the SOP expression. You have to write down the SOP expression now, considering these function values. Anybody? Can you try that? So somebody has written once again. It will be a bar, b bar, c bar plus, that is for M0. Again for M3 it will be a bar, b c plus for M5 it is a b bar c, a b bar c. Okay, is it clear for all? Any doubts in that? So we have seen now the truth table is given, and from that we have written the Boolean expression and canonical form already, and here the canonical form is given, and from that we are deriving the truth table. From the truth table we are writing the Boolean expression. So is it clear? We have taken both example for SOP and POS.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Okay, now I will hand over the class to the sir. Just stay in the class, all of you.